Getting ready to leave town, but I know I've been kind of sporadic with my help videos, and so I wanted to, in between packing and answering emails and grading and getting all caught up on everything, I wanted to make sure that I recorded a help video for this week. So this is for Spanish 101 week 13. This is our last week before Thanksgiving break. And the topic that I wanted to talk about this week is the reflexive verbs. So if I had more time, I would do a screencast on them, but all of that information and those videos are in the week 13 folder. But just a couple things that I wanted to call your attention to with reflexive verbs in looking through My Spanish Lab assignments. The errors that I'm seeing mostly are just with forgetting to treat the reflexive verbs like the regular verbs that you've already learned. So my biggest piece of advice with reflexive verbs is don't throw out what you've already learned about about verb conjugations. So let's say you're working with the verb lavarse, okay? And as soon as you add that se to the end, it tends to throw people off and you don't know what to do with it. And so I see all kinds of crazy things with those reflexive verbs. So what you want to do is keep in mind that lavarse is still the regular AR verb lavar, and you're still going to conjugate it as such. So when you look at those reflexive verbs, first take off the se, and let's leave that to one side for a minute. Look at the verb lavar. It's a regular AR verb, so you're just going to conjugate it like a regular AR verb. Lavo, lavas, lava, lavamos, lavais, lavan. But now, of course, we have this reflexive pronoun. What the reflexive pronoun does is it reflects the subject of the sentence. Okay, so if the subject of the sentence is yo, what I'm doing, what the reflexive verb indicates is that whatever the action of the verb is, I'm doing it to myself, or the subject of the sentence is doing that action to themselves. So like in English, we are more likely to express this using possessives. So like I wash my hands, I wash my face. In Spanish, we use the reflexive pronouns for that instead. So it's literally, it translates to I wash myself the hands. I wash myself the face. Yo me lavo las manos. Yo me lavo la cara, the face. So rather than using possessives, we use these reflexive pronouns. So again, me lavo. If the subject is tú, we want to reflect the tú with that reflexive pronoun. Tú te lavas. Él, ella o usted se lava. Nosotros nos lavamos. Vosotros os laváis. Ellos, ellas o ustedes se lavan. But when you're conjugating the verb, again, remember, you're still conjugating it just like a regular verb. Don't throw out what you've learned about verb conjugations just because it has these reflexive pronouns added. So same thing with, let's say, dormirse. Okay, dormirse is a stem-changing IR verb. So let's deal with that first, okay? The conjugations would be duermo, duermes, duerme, dormimos, dormís, duermen. Then when we add in the reflexive pronoun, it's just those same reflexive pronouns that we used with lavar, lavarse. So yo me duermo, tú te duermes, él, ella, usted se duerme, nosotros nos dormimos, vosotros os dormís, and ellos, ellas, ustedes se duermen. So again, conjugate the verb like you normally would, and then add that reflexive pronoun back in, and it will go when you're working with a conjugated verb, that reflexive pronoun is going to go before the verb rather than at the end like it does when it's the infinitive, the AR, ER, or IR form of the verb. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. Again, the reflexive means that whatever the action is being done to the person who's doing the action is also receiving the action of the verb. And some verbs, it changes the meaning of a little bit. So like lavar, we can talk about lavar when we're talking about washing dishes or washing the dog. But when we use a reflexive pronoun, we use the reflexive pronoun when we're talking about something that we're washing on ourselves. Also, verbs like dormir, the meaning changes a little bit when you use it as reflexive. So dormir means to sleep. So like I would say, yo duermo 8 horas por la noche. I sleep 8 hours a night. But if I use it as a reflexive, yo me duermo, it means I fall asleep. So there's some verbs that you can use as reflexive or non-reflexive, and it just changes the meaning a little bit. So anyway, I hope that helps and straightens out some of that for you. The biggest thing is just don't throw out what you've already learned about verb conjugations just because it has that reflexive pronoun added. And again, I will be available via email. So if you have questions over the weekend or the next couple days, shoot me an email and I will do my best to respond. And if I don't talk to you before, have a wonderful Thanksgiving break and I will see you online after the break. Thanks.